Okay, so we are into module 1. We have started with introduction to utility system, current energy scenario. In the last lecture, we discussed about how the current energy scenario for India and world, current energy consumption pattern in global and Indian industry. We also looked at the principles of energy management, energy policy, and I would like to ask you to recall what are the four pillars for carrying out a successful energy management or energy audit. Can anybody recall those four pillars for conducting a successful energy management? Carry out successful energy management, we have four pillars. What are those four pillars? Can anybody recall? Anyone? You don't remember?
No, sir.
So to carry out successful energy management, we have four pillars. The first one is technical ability. You must be aware of the technical abilities. You should have a strategic planning. You should have a proper monitoring system, and also you should have a top management support. Okay, so this is required for carrying out a successful energy, having a successful energy management. Then we talked about energy policy. Energy policy. What is energy policy? This is the principle of energy management, the judicious and effective use of energy to maximize profit and enhance competitive positions. Here, the important feature is judicious, effective, and to have and to achieve profits among the organizations. So, judicious means there will be some rules and regulations, laws which will be followed. If you break those laws, then you will be penalized. Effective use of energy. How can be the energy use effective? By proper management of the use of energy, by having proper efficiency. Okay, and we can have maximizing the profit. So how we can maximize the profit? If we use effectively the energy, energy can be in the form of heat, electricity, okay, manpower, labor. These all energy forms are available with us. So proper use of materials, proper use of labor, proper use of energy in the form of electricity. These are all examples of effective use of energy. Okay. Energy policy. In the last lecture, we discussed about energy policy. Energy policy is the manner in which a given entity or organization has decided to address issues of energy development, including energy production, distribution, and consumption. So I would like to know that when I talk about energy policy, what all entities I am talking about. When I say given entity, what is that given entity is? Can anybody answer? I remember I told you entity means, yes, tell me, entity means what? You forgot you have just yesterday we have engaged this lecture, no? Nobody remembers? Akshay,
Yes, sir.
what do you mean by entity here in framing the policy? Entity means what? Nobody? Rahul?
No, sir.
So I need to repeat the first lecture then again. Okay, no problem. See, listen. Whenever we are framing a policy, I told you that given entity means it can be organization, it can be state, it can be a country, and it can be world. So a policy is a manner in which it is a set of, or we can say these are the steps which are followed by organization for state and country and for world. So even if we frame one policy, that policy should be framed by taking into consideration the effects which will be observed in the country, which will be observed in the state, which can be observed in organization. So organization, state, country, and world. Whenever I say entity, energy policy can be framed by organization, can be framed by a country, can be framed by world. Are you getting the idea? I did tell you that the sustainable development goal is through a policy which is framed by national climate change policy. So national or international climate change policy, under that there are some sustainable development goals. So every policy will have goal, every policy will have a plan. And our today's lecture is dedicated to see what is the content. Lecture 3 is on energy action planning. So how a policy can be achieved by a proper energy action plan is what our today's lecture is all about. And what is this policy should include? Policy should include energy production, distribution, and consumption. Is it okay? Now it is okay.
Yes, sir.
So don't forget this. Okay, each and every line which I say here is of great importance. See, the subject clearing is not a matter. Okay, subject clearing is not a matter. Just to understand the subject, and whenever you understand the subject well, deep into your mind, then only I will be happy. Okay. So the attributes of energy policy, which will include legislation, international treaties, incentives to investment, guidelines for energy conservation, taxation, and other public policy techniques. So if I have electric vehicle policy, if I have electric vehicle policy, that electric vehicle policy will be will include legislation. It will include international treaties. That means signing between, I told you, India and Brazil and Argentina. Yes or no? For exploiting the lithium. So there will be some international treaties. There will be some legislation. That means rules and regulation, laws, incentive to investment. I told you the cost of electric vehicle is 8 lakh rupees, but because there is a government subsidy, it will be at lesser cost. So there is an incentive to investment. Guidelines for energy conservation. How by implementing energy policy for electric vehicle, how it will be resulting into energy conservation. There will be some guidelines. There will be some tax, green tax. I told you yesterday. Okay. For using conventional vehicles, there will be some green tax levied on the people, and other public policies which will be associated with each other. Okay, so this is all things related to energy policy. Any doubt in this? Please ask me now. Any doubt in this?
Sir, can you repeat once?
Which part?
This only energy policy.
So energy policy is a manner in which a given entity means it can be organization, it can be country, it can be state, it can be world. So energy policy is framed by these all entities, and they have decided to address the issues of energy development, how energy can be developed, generated, formed, distributed. So production, distribution, and consumption. This is called as energy development. So energy development includes energy production, distribution, and consumption. How a particular organization will produce its energy, will distribute its energy, and will consume its energy. For giving example, attributes means what are the attributes that are there in energy policy. Attributes are legislation, international treaties, incentives to investment, guidelines, taxation, and other public policy techniques. These all things will be included in energy policy as attributes. Is it okay, Darshan?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, what is legislation?
Legislation is nothing but rules and regulations. If you are following the rules, you will not be penalized. But if you are not following the rules, then you will be penalized in terms of, say, money, in terms of imprisonment, in terms of both. So that is legislation. So legislation will include a set of rules in the form of sections. That sections needs to be followed, and if there are some amendments in that section, that also will come under legislation. So legislation, in other words, are rules and regulations which are universally accepted.
Okay, sir.
That is a kind of law. So in addition to this, for energy policy, there are two laws. Energy Conservation Act. So act is nothing but following the laws will become act. Okay. So in shorter form, when I tell you that energy action planning, this action planning will result into an act. So Energy Conservation Act is a part of energy action planning. Water Conservation Act is an extension of action planning related to water conservation. Okay. Bhagyesh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we move further?
Yes, sir.
So now, on a broader sense, what is energy management system? So there are three terms. One is energy, management, and system. Each word has its own meaning. So organizations seeking financial returns from superior energy management continuously strive to improve their energy performance. Their success is based on regularly assessing energy performance, planning, and implementing action plans to improve energy efficiency. Hence, a sound energy management system is a prerequisite for identifying and implementing energy conservation measures, sustaining the momentum, and for effecting improvements on a continuous basis. So energy management system is not just a one-stop solution. It is a continuous monitoring, assessment. Okay, it is a continuous process. So energy management system is followed by organization to continuously improve their energy performance. It is not a one-time activity. It is a continuous monitoring, and to continuously monitor it, that proper planning is required, proper implementation is required of what? Of action plans. Action plan will have various steps. Okay, so the various steps for energy action plan is what we are going to discuss in today's lecture. So here on this slide, you have to understand that energy management system is not a one-time activity. It is a continuous assessment of energy performance, planning, and implementation of action plans. For what? For improving energy efficiency. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay for all?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah. So once again, energy management system. If I ask you what is energy management system, energy management system is a continuous process to improve energy performance. How? By planning, implementing action plans to improve energy efficiency. Okay. What is energy action planning? What are the steps? Yesterday also we discussed. For energy action plan, the steps is to make commitment. Commitment. What is commitment? Say for example, you are committing to yourself that I will achieve 10 pointer in this semester, is your commitment. But that commitment is not towards energy. Yes, getting the idea? So you have to make commitment for a proper energy management system will commit to achieve. To achieve what? Say for example, if I am committing that I will reduce my carbon emission by 2% at the end of 1 year. So this is my commitment. So to achieve this commitment, we have to assess the performance, we have to set the goals, we have to create the action plan, and implement that action plan, evaluate the progress, and recognize the achievement. During this phase, if you find that something is deviating from my goal, then I have to restructure or reevaluate the progress. Okay, are you getting the idea? So
Yes, sir.
yeah, making commitment is our first step. Now, who will make the commitment? Please think and say, who will make the commitment? I told you for framing the energy policy, we have entity. Now, among this entity, you tell me who will make commitment. Take an example of
Organization.
take an example of organization. Organization में कौन commitment करेगा? Whether it is the lower end of the organization or it is the apex body of the organization. Who will make
Lower,
the commitment?
lower end, sir.
Why you feel that it will be lower end?
Mm,
See, if you recall the main four pillars of energy management, main four pillars of energy management: technical technical ability, skill, strategic plan, and what was the fourth one?
Monitoring system.
Monitoring system, strategic plan, technical
Top
ability, and
management
what was the
support.
fourth? Yes, top management support. So now you tell me who will make the commitment?
So top management support.
Yes, very good. So this commitment is made by top management. So top management will make the commitment to improve energy efficiency. Okay. So top management will make the commitment to improve energy efficiency. Now, who will make the commitment? Say for example, if I am committing that I will reduce my carbon emission by 2% at the end of 1 year. So who will make the commitment? Top management will make the commitment to improve energy efficiency. what in the form of commitment the top management will show. The top management will form so organization structure of energy management. If I want to implement energy management system in my organization, so what I will require? I will require a proper hierarchy. I will require to appoint an energy manager. Okay, so where is the location of energy manager and what will be the task of energy manager? So the task of energy manager is to set the goals, track the process, promote energy management program. Okay, so an energy manager in short helps an organization to achieve its goals by establishing energy performance as a core value. So if your organization is appointing energy manager, it shows top management support. It can come as a quiz question. Yes, it can come as a quiz question that how organization, so appointing an energy manager shows, it shows top management commitment or top management support is the answer. You will remember this.
Yes.
Yeah. And where is the location of this energy manager? You see, if it is a plant, it is a manufacturing plant. So manufacturing plant के अंदर क्या क्या होगा? There will be manufacturing section 1, manufacturing section 2, other sections like asset management, HRD, you know, R&D section. So in manufacturing, there will be some shop floor, nodal officer like that. So parallel to that, there will be a energy management division. Okay, there will be a energy management division under plant manager. Under plant manager, there will be energy management division, and under that energy management division, there will be an energy manager. What is the role of energy manager? Is to set the goals, track the process, and promote energy management program. What can be energy manager program? What can be energy manager program? Just simply replacement of CFL bulbs with LED bulbs can be an energy management program. Is it okay to understand? This can be energy management program. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So tracking this progress, promoting energy management program, and setting the goals is the job of energy manager. Right. Where is the location of energy manager? Energy location manager I have shown you in the slide. It is right at the hierarchy of under plant manager. Okay. Are you getting the idea? Then what will be the next form of the energy manager? To form a dedicated energy team. To form a dedicated energy team. Okay. So team must be formed. What is the function of the team? So team, the task of energy team are executing energy management activities across different parts of the organization. That means this replacement of bulbs will be taken by energy team, energy management team, purchasing, operations, facility management, environment, health and safety, contractors, suppliers, utilities is what energy team will be looking after. So energy team can encourage communication and sharing of ideas between various departments in an organization. Okay, because energy management division is at the top level, energy manager is below that, the nodal officials or energy management team will have communication with different departments to implement this policy. Isn't it? Okay. So, are you getting the idea?
Yes, sir.
Yes, very good. So, a typical format of energy policy will be declaration given by the top management, a statement, that means statement of policy that I will be replacing as an organization. I will be replacing my all LED bulbs with CFL bulbs with LED bulbs. This is a statement. What is the objective? In order to conserve energy by this many percent, right? Whether it is a short-term goal, whether it is a long-term goal, that will be the typical format of an energy policy. Are you getting the idea? Right? So under top management commitment and support, appointment of energy manager, appointment of energy team, and what is the function of energy manager, what is the function of energy team. So in short, energy manager का क्या काम है? To set the goals, track the process and promote energy conservation measures. Energy team का क्या function है? Energy team function is to have communication with the each and other department to share their expertise into various nodal officials from each department. This is the top management commitment and support. Then the second part in energy action planning will be to assess the energy performances. अभी आपने एक set, you have made a commitment. After making the commitment, you should assess the energy performances. How you can do that? By having these many sub steps. What is the first step in that? Data collection and management. Collect and track data, collect energy use information and document data over time. Okay, this is the activity done under energy assessment of energy performance, data collection and management. Is it okay? Yes or no?
Sir, can you repeat that data collection?
See, under data collection, you have to collect and track the data, collect energy use information and document data over time. Now, what are the steps in this? Collect the data. How to collect the data? Which data you will collect? Whatever data is you are collecting must be complete and accurate, because it will be used for analyzing and goal setting. Understood? When you collect the data, means, say for example, if I give you example that I want to replace CFLs with LED, so I should collect the data how many CFLs I have and what is their consumption. This is the collection of data and analyzing it. Then by analyzing it, we will form the goals. So goal setting will be the final outcome of collection of data. And now determine appropriate level of details. That means what is the type of bulb, where it is used, make an inventory of that. Account for all energy sources. Her department say you have to collect how many are the CFL bulbs are there, what is their consumption, what is their wastage, how many time it is operating, what is the location, what is the distance between two bulbs, and so on. What is the cost associated with it? So these all things will come under data collection, isn't it?
Okay, sir.
Also, it will have maintenance. How these bulbs are maintained. If the bulb is not working, what is the procedure of replacement of that bulb? Just I am giving example of bulbs so that you will understand. But this will be related to all utilities. Take into consideration motor, pumps, cooling towers, refrigerators, fans, everything. Data collection and management will remain, the steps will remain the same. Isn't it? Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yes. Then establishing baseline. What is the meaning of establishing baseline? Baseline is nothing but determine the starting point from which to measure the progress. Right? So measuring energy performance at a specific time establishes a baseline and provides the starting point for setting the goal and evaluating future efforts and overall performance. Baselines should be established for all levels appropriate to your organization. So for example, I will give you an example like for educational institutions, the specific energy consumption is 100 kilowatt. Okay, so this is the baseline. Baseline means what? At a particular time, I am measuring the progress. So establish a base year. That means, say for example, I will measure from January 2021 till December 2021. So this is my baseline. And based on this baseline, I will set the goal for the next year. That if my consumption for this year 2021 from January 2021 to December 2021 is this much, in the next year I will reduce my consumption by 20%. So my final consumption in December 2022 must be 20% lesser than whatever I had in December 2022. Why I am saying this is, why baseline is necessary? Because at different time of year my consumption can be different, right? And that is why baselines should be established for all levels appropriate to your organization. Take an example of our college. Our college will be on, means it will be working from January to March or May or April. From April to June, there will be exam time. So my consumption is variable. Again, from June to November, my college will be functional. And from November to again January, it will be off for exams. So consumption pattern for exams, I will be able to bifurcate. Consumption pattern at the time of lectures, I will be able to bifurcate at the time of establishing the baseline. And then I can target in future that, okay, this is my benchmark. Benchmark means what? Compare the energy performance of facilities to each other, peers and competitors, and over time to prioritize which facilities to focus on for improvements. Means by calculating or by collection of data, by establishing the baseline, I found out that my use of the CFL bulbs is more during January to March, and my usage of fans is more during May to June. Then I will be able to have a benchmark. That means compare my energy performance of facilities to each other. Means from department to department. Say mechanical department uses fans more or pumps more or air conditioning more. IT department uses air conditioning more than mechanical engineering department. So I will be able to compare. That is called as a benchmark. Benchmark allows us to compare the energy performance of similar facilities and establish level of performance. That means there are air conditioners in mechanical department, there are air conditioners in IT department, but all our practical sessions of IT department happens in lab where computers are more. So their air conditioning load will be more. So I will be able to benchmark by looking at past performances, by looking at industry average. Industry average, that means this particular air conditioner should consume this much amount of energy. If my air conditioner is consuming much more than that, so this data I can get it from my peers. That means from industry, from past performance, from nameplate reading, from best in class available in that particular category. So for example, I am having a 2-ton AC, and whether that 2-ton AC which I have fitted in my organization is a best in class in that segment, that is nothing but benchmarking. What are the best practices? If I don't know to operate my air conditioner at 26 degrees Celsius or 25 degrees Celsius, I am not having best practices followed in my organization. That is nothing but benchmark. Are you getting the point?
Yes, sir.
Right? So benchmark helps in determining the level of determine the level of benchmarking, develop metrics, conduct comparison, and track performance over time. Okay, all these things will include under benchmark. After doing the benchmark, now you see the flow. First, you collect the data, establish the baseline, compare it with the help of benchmarking, then you analyze and evaluate. Okay, analyze and evaluate, analysis of data and evaluation of data. So what all things will come under analyzing? Analyze data means understand your energy usage patterns or trends. Okay, energy usage patterns and trends. How to assess your energy performance, or what will energy performance helps you? Assessing your energy performance will help you to categorize the current energy usage, identifying high performing facilities, prioritize poor performing facilities, and understand the contribution of energy expenditures to these facilities. Then develop historical perspective and context for future actions. So if you found out that your air conditioner is operation in summer season and this is not performing up to the mark, then you will prioritize that in your action plan. You should prioritize on air conditioning load, right? You have to quantitatively review your past data, okay, and go for forming the energy policies. Okay, so then last point will be in assessing the energy performance is conduct technical assessments and audit. Okay, so this is what evaluate the operating performance of the facility and equipment to determine improvement potential. Whether there is any improvement potential, you have found out the historical data, you have established the baseline, you have compared it with benchmarking, you have done the analysis, but whether those equipments are having the potential for improvements is what is considered under technical assessments and audits. Okay, so you have to assemble an audit team, plan and develop the audit strategy, and create audit report. So these all three things will come under technical assessments and audit. After you have done with this, the third part of, or the third step in energy action planning will come, and that is setting of goal. So setting of goals helps one to improve, or we can have a set of tone or set the tone for improvement throughout the organization. So your goals must be specific to organization and not to the utility, isn't it? Measure the success of energy management program. Okay, then how to set the goal? You determine the scope. First, you determine the scope. That means identify organizational and time parameters for the goal. That means setting the time. If I want to set the goal for 1 year, if I want to set the goal for 3 years, and what will be the outcome of that goal. So you have to estimate the potential for improvement. This particular goal can be improved in this many set of time. So time duration is very important. Okay, so determine the scope, then estimate potential for improvement. Then you have to establish the goal, whether that goal is for performance. That means the performance data you are improving, you are comparing it with benchmarking, that if you want to improve the benchmark, or you have to improve based on past performances or best practices. Okay, whatever reports you have prepared by doing the auditing, that report you have to carefully study, quantify it for potential improvements. Okay, link the data from one department to the whole organization. You see to it that whether you have established the goal can just answer or can just go for departmental level or for organizational level. Once you have established the goals, okay, then you have to have force field analysis. Force field analysis is nothing but, if your, say for example, if your goal is to reduce energy consumption per unit of production, this is the specific unit. Now you see, to do this, what are the positive forces and what are the negative forces? Positive forces are the forces which are acting towards the achievement of the goal, and negative forces are acting against the achievement of the goal. For example, high price of energy is a positive force. Energy efficient technology is available in the market. It is a positive source. Incentive for high power factor, it is a positive source. Top management commitment is a positive source. What are the negative forces? Absence of corporate energy policy, lack of awareness through the company, insufficient skills, insufficient knowledge, competing corporate priorities. These are all negative forces. So you prioritize, you identify the positive influences, estimate the relative strength, and you prioritize what particular goals or what particular actions are necessary for forming that goals or to achieve that goals. This is called as force field analysis. Getting the idea? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Right. After you set the goal, you have to now create an action plan. Create action plan. What is the meaning of creating an action plan? Now, successful organizations use a detailed action plan to ensure a systematic process to implement energy performance measures. What will be the steps involved in creating an action plan? So define technical steps and you set the targets. How? By evaluating the technical assessment and audit results, determine the technical gaps, create performance targets, set the timeline, and establish a tracking mechanism. Okay? Tracking is nothing but monitoring. So if you recall the 4 pillars of energy management system, you will see one of the pillar talks about monitoring system. So in addition to technical skill and strategic plan, there should be a proper monitoring mechanism. Okay? Then determine roles and resources. What is the meaning of these roles and resources? Get agreement from management and all organizational areas affected by the action plan before finalizing it. So if your action plan includes changing the production line, it will not be accepted. Okay, so if the organizational areas are getting affected by the action plan, so you call all the organizational areas, get agreement from the management that by doing this, the organizational area will be affected. Work with the energy team to communicate the action plan to all areas of organization. How to do that? So to determine the roles, identify which role will be applicable to which part of your organization, who will be the stakeholders which will be taking direct part or indirect part in that role or in that action plan, specify the roles, give them the instruction. It can be in the form of rules and regulations, it can be to the supply management, it can be some building or plant design, it can be engineering, it can be communication marketing, it can be related to environment, health and safety. Okay, so these all roles and resources must be given to each and every individual of the organization. If it is a state policy, you identify the state stakeholders. Okay, then identify external roles. Say for example, your organization is throwing effluents in a river. So in that case, your state organization, or we can say municipality, will come into picture, and that is not specific to your organization, but that is forming an external role. So determining roles and resources are not just for your organization, but outside the organization as well. Isn't it? Getting the idea? Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Hello, sir. You can repeat the implementation action.
Yeah. So next thing will be implementing the action plan. I have not come through this point now. Implementing of the action plan. I was still into determining roles and resources. That means I am saying that determining roles and resources for the organization cannot be limited to the organization, but it can have external parameters also, like municipality, VVMC, जैसे है, right? State bodies, central bodies. Okay. Now the next step will be to implement the action plan. How to implement the action plan? We have top management commitment. We have access the energy performance. Based on that, we have set the goals. Based on that, we have created an action plan. In that action plan, now we have given the roles and responsibilities to various heads of the department. Then we will implement this action plan. Now, implementing the action plan means what? To create awareness. To create awareness among the stakeholders. We have to build capacity. We have to give training to them. We have to motivate. Okay. Then good communication will require careful planning and implementation. How? That we have to raise awareness, build the capacity, we have to give training, we have to make them understand the importance of energy performance, provide necessary information to make them informed with the decisions that we are taking. Okay. Training also provides an excellent opportunity for gathering employee feedback and evaluations, whether that setting the goal or whether that implementation is taken care at the ground level or not. Okay. Then we have to give the training based on operational and procedural training. Some of the things will include knowledge building and management information system. We have to motivate them with the internal competition, recognition, financial bonus and prices, financial responsibility and performance standards. Okay. Then next one will be after implementing the action plan, we have to evaluate the progress. Evaluate the progress. How to evaluate the progress? How to evaluate the progress? By measuring the results. Whether replacement of CFL with LED will give me some advantage or not. Gathering, again gather the data, track the data, compare it with benchmark, review with the action plan. If we are not fulfilling the goals, you review the action plan. Okay, that will come under that graph I've shown you, that chart. Okay, then you recognize the achievements and put it in the report format. This will end your energy action planning. Is it okay? So it can be internal recognition and it can be external recognition. Okay, is it okay now? So you see, I have shown you the examples of how the country, how the organization includes their energy policy statement. We at Indal, Hirakud, are committed to continuously improve our energy performance in all activities, products and services so as to make it environmentally sustainable for future generation. To meet the above goals, we will strive for energy efficient power generation, aluminum smelting and casting, nurturing energy efficient designs and technology for all future acquisitions, whichever practicable. So these are the, you can see energy, yeah, they have written, and these are the goals and these are the objectives by which they will be fulfilling the goals. The policy shall be made available to interested parties, and there is a top management executive, chief executive, who will be signing this policy statement, isn't it? So there are several energy policy statements available on a web. You have to go through it, and there comes our first assignment. So please listen to this first assignment carefully, what you have to do. Okay. So assignment number 1 says that you have to study and summarize the energy policies framed by different organizations. 3 such organizations are shown in this slide. Also, all the material related to energy policy is uploaded on the Google Classroom. So go through it, go through energy policy statements for different organizations is your first work for 3 marks. Discuss among peers, that means discuss among yourself, discuss with me, discuss with other stakeholders about working of educational institutions like us and their uniqueness as compared to other organization. What is the meaning of this? You have to bifurcate how educational institutions are different than other organizations like manufacturing organization, then manufacturing organization, like other organization. Yes or no? So you compare between other organizations and educational organizations for 3 marks. And then next point will be to frame energy policy and energy action plan for our college, for Vidyavardhini College of Engineering. That means we at Vidyavardhini College of Engineering are committed to continuously improve our energy performance in all activities, products and services. Here they are mentioning products and services. We can mention our own system that you have to think and write. Okay, you have to think and write. Then to meet the above goals, we can have these many steps. I don't want 5 steps, 6 steps. It can be 3 steps, 2 steps, or 10 steps, or 15 steps, but restrict your answer to 1 page. 1 page. Restrict your answer to 1 page for each bullet point. So you will be having 3 total pages. This is an individual assignment. This is an individual assignment and you can submit it on Monday, that is 8th February 2021. First page, you study and summarize the energy policies framed by different organizations. Second page, you talk about how the educational institutes are different than other organizations. Third page, you frame the energy policy and energy action plan for our college, Vidyavardhini College of Engineering. Okay? Any difficulty in this? Please get it solved right now.
Sir, in a second point, discuss among the peer means, sir, what we have to discuss about means energy institution and the other organization
See,
power consumption.
yeah, correct. In this activity, in the second point, you just have to discuss among yourself and with faculty members and with other organizations, if you have any contacts, about what is the working or what is the action plan that they are following. Okay, and then you just have to state the uniqueness as your answer. Discuss part is for you and stating part is for me. You state their uniqueness as compared to other organizations. Understood?
So, so for saving the consumption of energy, sir.
Yes, correct. So how other organizations are saving their energy, what goals they are set, how they are forming or how they are addressing those goals, how educational institutions can save energy, what goals they have to set, will all come under framing of energy policy. And that is why it is having 4 marks. Okay, so total assignment is for 10 marks. You can refer to any website, you can refer to any literature. Okay, just if you are referring any literature or website, you just have to cite it, give the citation link and submit this assignment on Monday 8th of February. Okay. So Shinde Krishna is present. Not present. Shinde Archis is present. Archis. Manohar Mestri. Mayura Vartak. Okay. Then Shinde Darshan.
Present, sir.
Ian Lopez. Rahul. And Naik Kashish.
Present, sir.
Okay. Yes. So I will share you this recording, and